We'll do quick introductions. My name is Ana Zambrano. I am the transfer coordinator for Cal State LA. Some of you might already know me, and I'm really happy for you all to be here. Hopefully, this information that we're going to share today is going to be helpful for you and your students. This is the information that we will be sharing with them. So please be aware that we are hosting these What's Next presentations for your students as well. We are excited to have your students become Golden Eagles. So please know that we are working arduously to get them to commit to us and get them ready for their next step as students, right, as academics. And we also could not do any of this without you. So please, we also want to give our immense gratitude for all of the work that you do and you put in the effort that you put into supporting your students, and especially the students that are looking to come to Cal State LA. All right, so today's topics, what are we covering? We're definitely going to cover our major to career success. We'll talk a little bit about our renowned alumni. We're also going to talk about the next steps of fall 2026 admission, and then how will Cal State LA support your students, right? Financially, with financial aid, scholarships, etc. We'll talk a little bit about our advising support, housing and residence life. I know many of your students are likely going to be commuters, but we also want to give the opportunity for those that want to find a space here on campus. We'll talk about campus involvement opportunities, activities for, activating their Cal State LA portal, and obviously ways of them being connected to us, to Cal State LA, moving forward. So again, let's get started with our giving a shout out to all of our alumni here. This is obviously not all of them, but our most renowned alumni. We know that your students are looking to pursue many different careers here at Cal State LA, and we want them to actually get the career that they're looking for. Many of our students are ending they're starting their careers as in the entertainment industry, in education, and business and leadership. Some of our most renowned alumni include Alan Arkin, Billie Jean King, Isaac Lyrian, Dr. Juan Sanchez Munoz, Maxine Waters, Edward James Olmos, Jorge Orozco, Cesar Rene Perez, and Laurie Lopez Tixier. Again, these are all students that came to Cal State LA and are now making their footprint in their careers. And we really want to have your students be part of that footprint in the future as well. So we want them to stay connected and work with us so that we can help them through this process. Maybe the biggest thing that you might be looking to know what's happening next, right, is our timeline for your students. Here is what it's going to look like moving forward. Obviously, our deadline was in December 15th. Right now, we are working with our students to do their transfer update, their TAUs. By January 31st, that will be closing. Decisions are going out. All decisions will be out by mid-April, but right now most students have already gotten, by April 1st, but a lot of the students have already gotten decisions by now. What we do want them to do is submit their transcripts now. Let's see, as soon as possible. Those transcripts should be in part because we want them to get their transfer credit in their portal as early as possible. And the sooner that we get those transcripts, the better it's going to be for the students. So please have them request their transcripts now. They will be requesting them twice. The first transcript that they will be submitting will be the ones with their fall grades. And those are due, like I said, now. If they can submit them now, the best. Many of our students are going to have until April 30th to submit these transcripts, but we don't want them to wait because, again, we want to get that credit for them. They will also have their last final transcript submitted July 15th. So they still have a little bit of time for them to submit their spring grades. The deadline for FAFSA hasn't really changed. It's still March 2nd. So please ensure that your students are submitting either FAFSA or CADA as soon as possible so that we can also get that information for them. We want to have their letter as early as possible. So the sooner they submit FAFSA, the better it will be for them. We're hosting preview day. We want them to come and learn about their college, their programs, what they should expect as students in that major through preview day. So please have them sign up. We'll have another slide in a minute to kind of reiterate this information, but that event is really helpful for them, right? We want them to be involved and active in the campus, and that date will definitely be very helpful. Between now and April, actually, we're also hosting Transfer Fridays, and this is going to be every other Friday, with the first one being this coming Friday, January 30th. So this will be the next steps presentation. They're also going to hear from advising and from our financial aid representatives, so they'll get a chance to actually understand what they're doing in each area and how they're going to get to enroll. So we want them to also participate in Transfer Friday. They can attend one, so they can actually sign up as soon as possible, and they can join any of our sessions. And these are going to be in person. So again, we want them to be connected with the campus, and this is a great opportunity for them. And of course, preview day, like I said, that's going to be more geared towards their department, so they get a chance to talk to them specifically. ECD, the deadline is May 1st, and then we're going to be hosting summer activities, which include orientation and other activities by department throughout the summer as well. And then fall classes will be starting in August 24th or on August 24th. So they have some time, right? We still have about 8 months or 7 months before they actually get to be in the classroom physically, but they have opportunities to experience Cal State LA beforehand. So as far as their next steps, like I said, the main thing is submit their ECD, their enrollment confirmation deposit, by May 1st. And then official transcripts must be submitted as well through fall 2025 now. That's as soon as possible. They also will have to sign up for orientation, and this will happen after they have been admitted. They'll also be receiving an email with orientation information. They will not have the orientation information until they have paid ECD. So it's a process for this as well. So make sure that please remind them to check their Cal State LA email. They're going to start receiving emails in their Cal State LA portal. And again, submitting final transcripts by July 15th with their grades posted for spring 2026. And then test scores, if it's applicable. Many of our students is coming in as transfers, may not require them, but if they do have college credit for specific courses, it's they should submit them again as soon as possible, but July 15th will be the cutoff. We have a website for our new admitted students, and this gives them a checklist of what they can do, so that they can actually use that website. You can direct them there as well, so that they know what they can do moving forward, right? Getting them acquainted with Cal State LA. As far as our scholarships and financial aid opportunities, again, FAFSA is going to be required, or CADA, by March 2nd. Last year, on average, our students received about $12,000 in their financial aid package. 94% of our students received financial aid, so please have them submitted. We definitely need those documents so that we can get their financial aid and scholarships squared away. They also received about $273 million in grants and scholarships. So again, free money. We want them to have that support while they're here at Cal State LA. And Cal State LA offers over 400 different scholarships. With our students, the benefit of these scholarships is that they actually only need to submit one application. One form will actually be used for any scholarship that they may qualify for. And so most of our students, if they submit their scholarship application, will receive at least one scholarship. Not many of our students actually take advantage of this, so we want them to use this as their part of their resources. Like I said, we are very much committed to get the students to finish their academic goals, and this is one of the ways that we're working to do this as well. For you all, of course, you may be working right now on getting their associate degree. If you're probably checking the portal at this time, they are students who are getting the associate degree to transfer. They need to have this on E-Verify by March 13th. So they have some time still, but please, if they're coming to you, it's because we're reminding them of this. We also have, if they're not getting the ADT through E-Verify, they should submit the form as early as possible. And then when they should be submitting their ADT transcripts. ADT, if it is required for their major, they should have them on their transcript by July 15th. If it is not required for admission, they should have it by September 1st. If it's not required for their major, it may not affect them, but it is, but if they are requesting them, for GPA purposes or anything else like that, definitely ensure that they have that form submitted as early as possible. Now, the way that things work at Cal State LA, and this is something that we are addressing with students throughout our transfer days and through our What's Next presentations as well, we're ensuring that the students know how academic advising works, right? So Cal State LA has a comprehensive campus-wide approach to promoting graduation, right? We want them to graduate in a timely manner. In part for financial aid purposes, we want to make sure that they can take advantage of whatever aid they're receiving. But we do practice proactive advising here. So our students are getting advising from their academic advisors as soon as, and this is for our transfer students, excuse me, our transfer students will be getting advising, or they'll be contacted by their advisor sometime around the end of May or June, so that they can start registering for classes. But the advisors will be guiding them for academic planning, course selection, major and career exploration, and problem solving and resource referrals as well. They're going to be getting those emails as early as June to get these classes their schedule for fall 2026. But they do still need to pay obviously their ECD and sign up for orientation. These are the two main things to get to the academic advisement portion. So please ask them to submit these fees, or pay these fees as early as possible, so that they get the best opportunities for a schedule that they really like. Again, as far as first flight orientation, it is mandatory for all of our undergraduate students. Students during orientation will get a chance to talk to the university and the academic advisement center, so that they can actually get some of their classes. Many of our students might already be enrolled actually by orientation, but they still need to attend orientation if they have additional, in addition to, right, being there, if they have additional questions with their advisors. They're also going to get an invitation in the spring. Generally, this happens around April. We don't have an exact date for you all at this point, but it's going to happen in the spring for them to sign up for their for orientation after they have paid their ECD. If there are any questions specific to orientation, you can always contact them at orientation@calstatela.edu or give them a call at 323-343-3175. They also have a website, so you can also direct the students there. Like I said, many of our students might be commuters, but if you have students that are interested in housing, we have an incredible housing and residence life. And many of our students who live on campus are really enjoying the community that they're building within the campus, right, within their housing spaces. We do have the North Village, which has about 2 and 4 bedrooms. They have 2 bathrooms, a patio, and a balcony. North Village is generally for our transfer students. They have more of a like apartment style rooms. So they have a little bit more, I guess, flexibility or privacy, right? Because they are older and they have more space in that sense. They all have the West and East Village have 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, and a balcony. And as far as communities, they do have spaces where they can build their own little communities, right? So they have the urban and gardening and sustainability community, do not disturb. I know we might have some students that want a little bit more quiet spaces. So we have the do not disturb community, justice, equity, and diversity, or JEDI community, and then specifically for transfer students, right? So again, we have those spaces for them. We want them to build those communities generally. Some of the amenities that they benefit from include Wi-Fi, TV and movie streaming, on-site laundry. And I always get kind of psyched about the on-site laundry, because they do, at this point, they have had free laundry, right, services for students who live on campus. So really great opportunities for our students overall. And again, the main thing really here is giving them a space to build a sense of belonging on campus, but also building connections with other peers that are going through the same experiences that they have. If the question comes up, please know we don't currently have housing for families, but students are encouraged to sign up if they are interested in housing. There's a lot of spaces, opportunities for students to build their sense of belonging. Of course, they don't just have to be in housing. We have over 120 student organizations that the students can be part of. It does not need to align with a specific major. Many of them do, but it doesn't need to be that way. They can attend or join any student organization that they choose. We also want them to consider joining fraternities and sororities on campus, and maybe join an athletics team, right? We have 13 NCAA Division II athletics teams on campus. We also have cheer and spirit squad. We have events and activities outside of campus even. Cal State LA United Dodger Stadium is an example. We want them, again, to not just be connected on campus, but also be connected as part of the community as a whole. We also have our Halisi Steppers. And then one thing that I always advocate for, if they want their voice heard, definitely run for government, student government through ASI, because they get a chance to make their voices heard and their peers as well. There are other examples of this on our website. If they go to calstatela.usu.org, they get a chance to see a little bit more of this and the plethora of student orgs that they can join. And one thing that we're definitely want them to do right now is to activate their Cal State LA portal. Many of our students might have already done this, but if they haven't yet, I'll walk you all through this if they come to your office with these questions. The main thing that they need to do is they're getting an email. In the email, they're going to get the link, id.calstatela.edu. That link will direct them to a page that looks something like this. They're going to click Activate Account. And when they click Activate Account, they're going to be directed to this page. They will enter their CIN, their campus ID number, which will be a 9-digit number that generally starts with a 4 at this time. But it might vary, right? But generally it'll start with a 4. They will enter their CIN and then they'll add their last name. When they hit submit, that will direct them to validate and accept their the terms and conditions to use this portal. And then they will be asked to create a new password. Right now they will have a generic password. But once they get to create their password, they'll be able to log into their Cal State LA portal. And that is my.calstatela.edu. They will enter in the username, they're going to use their Cal State LA email. Many schools are using a similar Outlook portal, so it might already have their community college information. Please remind them that they need to delete that to log into their Cal State LA portal. They enter their Cal State LA email and the password that they create, and then they will be directed to their actual portal. Right now, at this point, many students might only be seeing these two widgets, right? Their email and get. There might be maybe another one, the payment portal. They're not seeing all of these yet. They will as they move forward in the application process or in the admission process. But right now it's going to be a little bit more limited. It's easier for them to navigate. So please know that we're not trying to hide anything. It's just a matter of them just getting through certain of their processes. If they go to their Get portal, that's where they will see their student center. They'll see any communication that is coming from admissions and their to-do list, which is something that we are directing them to at this point. We really want them to be familiar with the things that we're requesting, right? So that's something to be very mindful of. These are obviously a few steps, but they're getting emails from us so they can use their inbox, but they're also going to see some of this information on their Get account, their Cal State LA Student Center. When they go to Get, they're going to be directed to a page that looks like this. They will select the Student Center tab, and then they'll be able to see their portal, their student portal. On the right side, the students are going to see their communication center, their holds, to-do list, enrollment dates, and any other areas that they need to follow through with. The main things that they need to focus on at this point would be their communication center and their to-do list. Anything that we're asking for their to-do list might likely be their transcripts. At some point, it'll also be their ADT and other documents, right? If we need additional documentation, it's going to be listed on their to-do list. The communication center is basically any email that they're receiving from us. So from admissions. And these are important. So it's good for them to know that they are getting them in multiple areas. One, they're going to see it in their Cal State LA email, but they're also going to see it on their communication center. And it's going to help them to kind of understand, okay, this is actually something that will take precedence. The holds, these are actions needed to be completed. They generally will prevent the students to enroll in classes. Most students would not have a hold when they get admitted unless they have been readmitted or something like that, right? That they need to clear with our records office generally. And then again, the to-do list, any documents that we need will be listed on that to-do list. On the left side, you'll also see our other little tabs. Another main thing that they need to focus on at this time would be the financial aid office, financial aid tab, where they can view their financial aid and they can accept and decline their awards. They likely will not see anything until closer to the summer. But right now, like I said, as long as we know that we have their documents, it'll be expedite the process for them to get their award letter. But that's where they're going to see that if they have submitted their financial aid form. As far as awards are concerned, they will. If they have financial aid, that's going to be cleared pretty quickly, and they'll see what they qualify for on here as well. Ways for them to stay connected and for you all as well. We're right now hosting in-person and virtual What's Next presentations. There are multiple dates and times. If many of us are working with you all, if we're working in person, right, you're going to get communication from us. Actually, on a quick side note, you might have received an email from our department. If you want to have these presentations, you can fill out the form and then we will schedule something together. We're also hosting Black Excellence at Cal State LA on February 21st in person, and then on February 26th virtual. Please come to join us, have your students join us. We want this students to be able to connect with current Black students, alumni, and distinguished faculty on campus. Transfer days. These are transfer Fridays. They're happening in person throughout the semester up until, and don't quote me, I don't have the dates with me right now, but the first one is happening on January 30th. And our students that have been admitted are receiving these emails continuously so they can actually sign up for them. We encourage our students to join. It is optional, but it is a great turnout. I think it is a great event for them or activity for them to kind of join and learn about the campus and hear from different individuals who actually work with students on campus already. We also will be hosting Q&A sessions virtually. That's going to happen throughout the semester as well. That they can find also on our admitted students website. And then preview day, like I mentioned earlier, it's happening in person on April 18th, 2026. So please save the date. It's going to be from 8 to 1. And this event is going to be more, like I said, geared towards our students connecting with their department. We really want them to connect with the department that they're going to be working with as they are transitioning, right, from being community college students to Cal State LA students. A few tips that we have for everyone, specifically our students, we want them to utilize the resources that we have on campus, like our academic advising, and that really they're going to have someone contacting them continuously, so they're going to see that. They're going to talk to their advisors no matter what. We also encourage them to explore our basic needs support, counseling, and psychological services. Our CAS, or Center for Academic Success, our cross-cultural center, CSU Success, and then our Dreamers Resource Center as well. EOP, I believe many of our students are also getting their communication from EOP currently, so please check with them. If they have questions, they can just direct them to us. We also want them to be part of our first year experience, Guardian Scholars, And if they need additional supports or resources, they can use the Office for Students with Disabilities, or OSD. Many students on your campus might know it as DSPS or the Access Lab. Please let them know that they can utilize the services here as well. They do need to submit an intake form once admitted, and then they will find out what resources they qualify for. We have technology support for our students, the Veterans Resource Center, and then Wellbeing U. Something that we want to focus on, it's not just academics, it's more than that. They, like I've mentioned this before, we want them to build community, but we also want them to be healthy, both emotionally, mentally, and physically. We want them to use these resources to continue to be successful in these different areas. The tips for success at this point, definitely have them check their email. It's important. We're sending several emails throughout. And if they don't see an email from us and they submitted an application, they can check their spam. Sometimes it does drop into their spam. So we want them to ensure that we want to ensure that they are receiving our information. And if they don't see it there, they can also go into their student portal, check their communication center to verify what kind of communication they've gotten from us. They're getting information from financial aid, from admission, and eventually they're also going to get emails from our First Flight Orientation office. We also want them to check our website, right? Our new Transfer Admit website that has a checklist for them that's really helpful for them to see ensure that they're on track. We also want them to review any deadlines, right? Submit documents on time. It is important for them to submit these documents on time because sometimes it's maybe they listed something on their Cal State LA application and it's not showing a class. If they submit their transcripts early enough, we'll be able to see and catch anything that might have been missed when they filled out their application. And of course, we want them to contact their recruitment specialist. They might have already gotten an email. They likely have already gotten an email to communicate with us, so they know who to reach out to. I've gotten several emails from some students, so please know that we are responding to them and trying to make sure that they have everything that they need and feel comfortable and confident in communicating with us as well. And of course, you all can contact us and the students can contact us. We really would love for them to follow us on our social media because a lot of the information that we are relaying via email, if it is events or activities, it's also being posted on our social media. But we are here on campus in the first floor in the Student Services building, so they can always drop by if they're like dropping off documents or if they have questions and they want to meet in person. They can definitely come by Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. And they can also email us at admission@calstatela.edu.